Somehow I think that Rocket from the Crypt wouldn't have stood still for any of this. Yeah, the unfortunate thing is that we went to some of the major bands playing, and none of them really wanted to talk about this either. Of course, we're talking about the mass censorship that happened by the city of Los Angeles on the We the People Festival in Los Angeles here over the weekend. With me are two participants, along with myself, Dylan Avery from Loose Change fame, and Cindy Sheehan, who is running for Congress right now, cindyforcongress.org. And I'm really, if I have to beg, I'm begging you, send her a couple of bucks from everywhere in this country. We have got to get her elected, but we have to at least get her out in front of the people so they know she's running and can support her in California or everywhere. We need her. She was at a big Ralph Nader rally yesterday. Very, very busy person. Took her time out to go to this festival to address thousands of kids and thousands of concert goers who want to get this information, get the truth, and she was prepared to give them the truth in a way that maybe they weren't prepared to receive. That's what happened. Cindy, tell us now. We've got you and Representative Cynthia McKinney, presidential candidate for the Green Party, backstage at the We the People event at the main stage. Can you tell us what happened to you? Because I've only gotten this story secondhand.
Well, of course, and we thought it would be great to go down to LA also because my campaign appeals to young people who understand the revolutionary nature of it.
Yeah.
And LA is not that far from San Francisco. Easy to come up and door knock for us, do phone banking or whatever, and my campaign is very young and energetic, so, we thought that would be a perfect group to appeal to. However, we got a hold of one of the organizers, and she said the speakers are going on, anytime during the day, just get there. And the speakers were speaking between the bands. That's what we were told. So we thought the best crowd would be in the evening. And then, of course, it wouldn't be as hot because it was supposed to be really hot that day, too. Anyway, so we got there about 7:30. We went to where the artists were checking in, and my name wasn't on the list. And they had no idea who I was. And they made us wait there about a half hour, finally got us some wristbands to go in. And then we went to the back of the stage, and Cynthia got there, and we were waiting behind the stage trying to find whomever we needed to find.
Yeah, there was nobody appointed there to handle the speakers, to help the speakers.
Right,
we had the same exact same thing.
Usually, I've done these things before. Yeah. I've done hundreds of them with, bands, speakers, famous people, places where there's hundreds of thousands of people in attendance at these rallies and festivals and everything. And usually you have somebody that is there to, show you what time, where to be. Do you need anything? Do you need some water? Or, whatever, and that was just the first time I've ever gone to anything like that, where we've just been totally abandoned.
Yeah, we went and found Fidel Gonzalez, who set us all up, but we had to proactively go out and figure that out.
Well, Cynthia finally found Fidel, I think. And so we were taken over to a side stage, and this, mind you, is probably about, an hour and a half later since we've been there looking for somebody. They took us to a side stage and told us we could speak there, and there were 10 people at that stage. And so Cynthia and I just said no.
We went to that stage. They wouldn't even let us go on there. We were told we would be speaking on a smaller stage. I wanted to fulfill my obligation, Cindy, which is what I do, and they still wouldn't let Dylan and I speak there as well. They were behind schedule or some excuse.
Well, they were going to let us speak at the stage where 10 people were, and so...
Oh, boy.
We were leaving because we went back to the main stage and we were going to try and throw, to me, it's one thing, to treat me that way, but Cynthia McKinney is a candidate for president, and a recognized party that has ballot status,
and a former two-time congressman,
really poor.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
And a former two-time congressman.
Absolutely. So I thought that was really poor, and so we went back and we were going to insist that they let us speak up on the main stage, and then they started playing some Obama rap. And Cynthia said, that's what all these festivals are turning into, around the country. Great festivals. That was Cynthia's third year she had gone there. You know, great grassroots festivals are being bought out by the Democratic Party. And so when they started playing some big Obama rap, Cynthia just said, you know, let's get out of here. And when we were leaving, I was the one that saw Tom Morello. And I went into Tom Morello's dressing room because he's a good friend of mine. And I said, Tom, they're not letting Cynthia and I speak. Can we go on before you and speak? And Tom actually said, not Cynthia, you, and you can't speak, you can only introduce me. So I don't know if you had been warned, or I know that many times they're on a really tight schedule, and especially if you have a venue like that, they start shutting the lights off if you run over time or whatever. But then
I'm a former,
I said, no, Tom, you know, we're just going to head out. You know,
I'm a former musician. I played on some pretty big stages. I mean, if I have you and Cynthia McKinney up and you can talk, I'm going to go ahead and forego a few of my songs to make sure that you get on. Because we talked to Tom as well, both Dylan and I, and we told him what happened. And he went on stage and he did some rap about how Woody Guthrie was censored. And I didn't know if that even applied to our situation, but he certainly didn't mention what had happened to all of us. And I don't know how much he has to lose by saying something like that.
Well, you know, Tom actually has publicly endorsed me, and I was the first candidate he's ever publicly endorsed.
Yeah.
So,
Dylan, you wanted to add something here? Dylan, go ahead.
I'd say it's funny because he did that last year at Bonnaroo too. So he gives that speech every time he plays that song. But I do also want to take a second, just because I'm going to forget if I don't. You know, Cindy, do you remember meeting me back in 2005, late December 2005, when you came up to upstate New York?
I've met so many people. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I apologize.
It's fine, because it was actually right when Loose Change Second Edition was finished, and I personally we brought 2 copies that we had just burned, and I gave one to you personally. And it's funny, it's because we came there to that event to see you that we got on Fox News, and that's pretty much the whole thing that got us started. So that's just
awesome.
Just kind of funny. Yeah, something that happened back in late 2005.
There's another issue. There's another issue here too, Cindy, and I want to talk about this when we go. We're going to go to break here in a second. But all 3 of us have spoken out, and including Dylan, that makes 4. All of us have spoken out on 9/11 and you know how we feel we need a new investigation, how the truth needs to come out for that. I wonder how much of that might have played into it, because I think you know it's pretty easy to find, especially with Cynthia, myself, and Dylan, and you even. It's pretty easy to find some of the remarks we've made about the cover-up involving 9/11. Right. I wonder if how much that had to maybe do with it and the establishment not wanting us to maybe go into that. Now, I was going to. I don't know if you were. Let's talk about that a little bit when we come back and how we can take back our festivals from the Democratic Party machine or the Republican Party machine if you're in country music. Stay tuned. Deadline Live. Jack Blood.